We got snakes here. He's a little long one. He's long, but he's not big. But that copper, I mean that diamond shape, he would. Look at this. You tried to come at me, you little snaky. Keep you at. Oh, what you don't like this? Look at one day I had a literal red-tailed hawk catch a woodchuck, and now here I got a little snake for you. It's like a Discovery Channel. What's up, my people? How's everybody doing out there? Indigo Child. This guy just walked across my path. Should I try to pick him up? I think that might be... I'm not sure if those are poisonous, actually. I like the pattern on that shit, though. I don't think that's a gardener snake, because the gardener snakes that I used to see when I was younger around here were like all one color. Let me see at the end of his tail. What's at his tail? Yeah, it ain't a rattlesnake. It might be a gardener snake. I'm not sure. She got the blood of a reptile. Crazy. Alright, I'm done bending over for that snake. Don't leave. Don't leave, my people. Should we go back to see if it left yet? Yeah, we're looking for snakes. We found them snakes. Let me see if it if it went away yet. I think it was over here. I'm not sure if that was the area. I seen bigger snakes last time I was here, though. It was like a way thicker snake. And it was the same pattern, though. Where the hell was that? I think it was right over here. There it is. Yeah. He's still in the same spot. Dude hasn't moved. When I left, he didn't move nowhere. I've seen some bigger ones in these woods though. Peace, what's up? What's up, OA? Smash that like button. I've seen a lot bigger snakes in this woods, but they do have that similar pattern, the ones that I've seen. Fox, yeah, you guys, I've seen them. Foxes, coyotes, they've been on my channel before, you know. I mean, I know you guys, of course, can't watch every video when I put them up, but a lot of these live videos where I walk through, like the woods, I've caught fox, coyotes, all things, even some fairies and elves, for sure. It's like beautiful outside right now, and the leaves are falling, but I guarantee you in like 2 weeks or so it'll be snowing already. It's gonna be a bad winter too. Yep, that's what they're saying. Tanya, what's up, Tanya? My daughter's name is very similar. Tanya is my daughter's name is Tana, T-A-N-A, no I. We're actually doing a giveaway too on my website today, and we have still, if people want to use the coupon code at the Mystical Spiral store for 20% off all products, it's End Summer 20. So, and that's gonna only be up till the weekend. So, and then we're gonna have new stuff going on as well. How's everybody doing in the chat room? It's crazy because the more I read Immanuel Velikovsky, the more my mind is blown, because like I hadn't read a lot of the stuff from Velikovsky. I had 2 of the books, and I never even read the whole thing of both of them. And now that I've read it, I can't believe that many things like that I've thought and talked about, man, this guy was on top of that in some of it. And you know, I think he published it in 1950. But he was talking about comets. That's one of his main thing, is comets. I had no idea really that the extent of what he was writing about, but he's not talking about looking for bacterias in space and all of that, but he's talking about how certain planets became comets. Even, I mean, certain comets became planets. Pretty amazing. And one of his main things that he talks about in Worlds in Collision is that, and, you know, Roger from Mud Fossil, I've worked with in the past, a friend of mine. He's a big Velikovsky fan. He's written a book. I think he wrote a short book about Velikovsky as well. But Velikovsky talks about how Venus was once a comet, and then it got caught into Earth's orbit and became a planet, right? But what's interesting is that I have something that I'm calling the Quasar network, and it's the Quasar network, and this edition of stuff I'm putting out is called the Torus Talk Papers, and it's a network where, you know, over 30 years basically I've been doing research. I'm in my 40s, and I started doing research on the ancient mysteries, mythology, religions, all of this. when I was damn near 11, 12 years old, you know, on a serious basis. You know, I was already ingrained in me to be interested in it. But around the time I was like in middle school, I started to really take a deep interest in what I was reading, what I was researching, what I was thinking about, right? And over that time, from then until now, which is over 30 years, I started to receive like a deeper knowing, or a psychic imprint, if you want to say, or however you want to label it, about some of the information. Almost like a remote viewing, where certain coordinates, certain places, certain points in time, certain people, certain cultures, where you're so focused on the research and it's focused on it that you're literally almost transported there mentally and given like a psychic vision about it, or like images, a flash, you know, a knowing. And this has been accelerating over time since I'm young. So I decided to make that like a whole platform where a lot of the things that I've been recording over the years, and connecting dots with some of the research I've been doing, to start putting some of that out. And now that I'm, you know, even older now, I've got I think a better outlook on things, and I can even understand some of it better. Because when you have somebody that's an intuitive or a hypersensitive, right, and they are quote unquote psychic, now I hate using those labels, but the information that's coming through, depending on the person's own information that's in their brain, like their programming throughout their life, their prejudices, their all of this, it'll get distorted through that filter. You understand what I'm saying? So like if someone's receiving, if you want to say higher information or higher self-connection, and getting info that way, a lot of times it'll come through a filter of what's been programmed within them, and it'll get distorted. So they'll sort of translate it through that programming, through their filter, and the information that they translate, although what they're seeing is valid, and what the knowing that they're getting is valid about it, sometimes their translation of what it is will be distorted, and it will be because of their own, who they are, their own characteristics and things like that. And you'll see that with a lot of even some of the saints and some of the who got prophetic information, but it's coming through the filter of the religion, right? And it's coming through the filter of a lot of things that is been programmed around them, and all that stuff, right? And so that's what you have to be careful for. And I think that's why I got so dedicated to research, to kind of understand some of the things that I've been seeing in a better way, and not put it through that filter, that distortion of humanity, right? And it's interesting because a lot of what Velikovsky is saying is, I think, is he's on point with a lot of it. And the fact that Venus could have been a comet is really amazing. And I have been talking about how comets bring forms of life and bacteria all throughout the universe, especially throughout our solar system, right? And you know that recently they found that most likely penguins originated from Venus. They found elements in penguins' poop that is only in the atmosphere of Venus. Check that out, right? And I don't want to reveal all the things. Some of it you could find on my website, themysticalspiral.com. I even have a page now on there in the menu called the Quasar Network, and certain pages in there where I talk about the felines and megalithic secrets and things like that. You can find I've been talking about certain places in the universe that I basically did a scrying or a remote viewing or a psychic viewing about, And I've been doing the same with ancient objects, artifacts, people, places, and cultures, right? And what's very interesting is the last few years with the ancient Egyptians and the scarabs. I've found that there's very, very ancient objects that were made into what they would call Baetylos stones, these living sentient stones that sometimes were carved in the shape of scarabs, and they were put in place of the heart while preparing the body for death. And this is not just ancient primitive mortuary and funerary procedures, right? It's funny because when I was doing some work with the scarabs and that sort of topic, I was getting these visions of this army man or general, right, with a general hat and everything, with this like almost like broom handle type mustache, like this big huge broom, not broom handle, but broom, like end of the broom brush, almost like an old brush type mustache, right? And then one day I'm reading about collections of scarabs, and I'm in the Metropolitan Museum of New York, and this was a few years back, and I see a picture of this dude, and that like cold chill came over me. I'm like, oh my God, that is the dude that I saw, right? And I knew it. And then I started to read about who he was. His name was General Cesnola. 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 General Cesnola was basically an Italian-born man who went like into the army, the army of Sardinia, at 15 years old. Now, for those that don't know, Sardinia has some of the biggest and most megalithic nuragis. They have these things called nuragis, right? These like stone towers, right? Sardinia has over 2,400 megalithic towers and dolmens and menhirs and all of this from the giants. They even have the Nuragic civilization, I think it's called. I forget how to spell. It's like an Nuraghe, Nuragi. Right? It's a certain civilization that lived in Sardinia. Well, they have a spot where there's a church now, but there's an ancient necropolis that's in Sardinia. I forget the exact name of it right now. I got it, of course, in my notes and stuff, but there's an ancient necropolis in Sardinia where in one spot over 600 ancient scarabs were found just in that one little area, and these are scarabs that were put there by Phoenician Rephaim kings, right? And all of these different cultures that had these giants within them that were sea travelers as well, like the Phoenicians. Right? People hear the name Phoenicians, but they don't realize that the Phoenicians had giants as their kings. Literal. I mean, we're talking some of them 10, maybe to 15 feet tall, and red-haired and brutal, double-row teeth with telepathic powers and just they're such big that think about our abilities now and our size. Think about if your senses were magnified 5 times or more. You would have these hyper senses, these hyper brain powers, these hyper smell abilities, and just the name of these giants would strike fear in people, where trembling fear, where they wouldn't be able to talk and piss themselves, right? Like, just trembling fear. Atsalan, yeah, Atsalan. Oh, what's up, Masaki? Masaki-san. Good afternoon, my brother. Kid Cuddy. What up, Kevin? Yeah. The Aztlan, yeah, I definitely heard of the Aztlan. They have Aztlan even here, you know, they're like Mexican, they have Mexican giants that were Aztlan, you know. You know what? I even think some of them made it to the Northeast over here, and some of that culture. We have all of the ancient Lenape Indians and Iroquois and all the ones. This whole area that I'm walking in now was Native American grounds before the Catholics bought this, for sure. The Havestrew Indians, you know, the name of the area over there is Havestraw too, you know. So this whole area, right next to it is the name of the town is Muncie, and Muncie actually is an old dialect of Native Americans. The name, like they speak the Muncie, and I think like a couple of years back when I went to the festival that they have here in the Anthony Wayne Park, he was like a general in the. They used to call him Mad Anthony Wayne. They don't write that in the pamphlets around here, but his literal name was Mad Anthony Wayne because of how battle mad he was on the battlefield. But they told me at that festival that they're in like 2008, there was only one or two people known to still speak the Muncie dialect. Wait, let me see if that snake is still here that we saw earlier. It was, oh, we passed it. This is where it was, over here. Let's see if that snake is still here. Yeah, look at these stones around here everywhere. That's why, you know, the towns around here, they have like Rockland County, you know, Stony Point, shit like that. Look at those. But yeah, the snake was right over here somewhere. Let's see if I can find him. I hate to step on him. And it's hard to see those snakes too because of their color. I don't know, but he was right in here before. I don't know. Yeah, what's interesting, and you can find on my website too, is, you know, we're talking about the penguins being from Venus, and there's like probably proof now. You know, that bacteria carrying their DNA was inside of comets, and then inside of a comet, and Venus was once a comet. You know, and now it's literally in the atmosphere. Stuff that's inside who they are. You know, the elements of who they are. I saw and was shown the same thing when basically, I guess you could call it a remote viewing. You know, well, remote viewings is more of a military, the word for them doing a blind psychic experiment with coordinates. But for lack of a better word, I would say similar things when I was actually doing work on India and research on India and the Ganges River. And then I started to research the freshwater dolphins of the Mama Ganga, the Ganges River, right? And this is, in ancient times, some of the clearest and most amazing fresh water on the planet. And now it is one of the most cesspool, has dead bodies in it and shit and feces and all that stuff is, now that's what the Ganges River has in it. You know, you go in it, you'll get viruses you never thought existed. If you go into Ganges River, you know, it's crazy because some of the locals can actually bathe in there and not get sick. But if somebody like us bathed in there, we'd have the most violent, explosive diarrhea we've ever known, and we come out of there a different person, right? For real, you can't go in something like that. Like, I think they even put cremated bodies in there. Good afternoon, Susan. So But while working and researching the Ganges River and those dolphins, I was led literally on the constellation map to the Dorado constellation, which is pretty amazing because the Dorado constellation is actually called the dolphin fish. And it's not a, it's this is not like just a coincidence. Like this is all you just said that because it's shaped like a dolphin. No, I was literally brought there, right? And I think the seamen, the sailors, who in the ancient times named this the dolphin fish because in the night sky it looks like the a swordfish or a dolphin fish with that long snout, right? This I think the sailors who actually named it that weren't just naming that because of, yes, they were naming it because of how it looked in the night sky, but I actually think they had a deeper connection. Them being sailors and seamen, right? They have a deep connection to the waters below, you know, the ocean and the sea, but also the waters above and the stars. It's just as important to sailors, the waters above, as the waters below, especially in ancient times when they navigate with the stars. Right? So I think they had a deeper connection even to where the dolphin was actually some of the dolphin DNA was being sent from. And I was shown that especially the freshwater dolphins that ended up in the Ganges River and possibly the ones that are in the Amazon as well were sent from somewhere. I think actually they actually also existed within planets that are around stars within the Dorado constellation. Now, the Dorado constellation isn't a huge constellation, but it has amazing things in it. And if you want to see some images and more writings about this, go to themysticalspiral.com, my website, and you could go to... it's either on the Quasar Network page in the menu, or... yeah, I think the Quasar Network page in the menu. And I was shown the bottom of the page. It has all about the dolphins and the Dorado constellation. And the L.M.C. Now, the L.M.C. is in the Dorado constellation. What's the L.M.C.? It's the Large Megallanic Cloud. Now, this isn't really even a cloud. It's just so huge they call it a cloud. It's actually a spiral galaxy. It's actually its own galaxy. The Large Megallanic Cloud galaxy. It's in the Dorado constellation in that way, right? And it has star-forming regions in it. I think it's called the Tarantula Nebula, but there's these star-forming regions right in the Dorado constellation, in the Large Megallanic Cloud, right? And I have even the pictures of it. The gas clouds that are in this region form red and blue together. Like they're literally like the colors of the blood and the colors of creation, the opposite colors of creation. Like literally in the sky, in the cosmos. And I do feel that the freshwater dolphins were brought here as some sort of that DNA, those creatures were brought to emerge on our planet because they were other places once before. And they're brought here to balance the harmonic frequency within the skies above and below. There's a special reason why they're on our planet, for nature and for water and land, for water and land. I believe they were both at one time on land as well, those kind of creatures. That there's something about their harmonic frequency of who they are, and they keep the balance of it all together, especially with the fresh water. And things like that. There's some sort of technology involved with them telepathically as well, with sound, harmonic resonant frequency that's involved with the waters above and the waters below. And they're one of the creatures I think that were brought here for that, as long just like, killer whales, which are dolphins anyway. People don't realize killer whales are friggin' dolphins. They're not even whales. They're huge dolphins. And yeah, so you guys can find about that right on my website. And let me see. The platypus. That would be an interesting thing to do. We could do a remote viewing if you want on that. That's part of my Quasar network. You know, join patreon.com/the mystical spiral. We're doing these things. You know, this is part of what I've been, one of my platforms that I'm really interested in and continuing and growing is doing this. And the thing is that we can't, as far as I'm concerned, I will not do open a psychic channel through the internet. Like when I do readings on people, I'll go over the results with them over the internet or phone if I have to, right? Or do a sort of maybe and even when I'm on the phone with them, and even more will come sometimes, and I'll try to do it on the phone more than internet, because when you open a psychic channel on internet or an open Wi-Fi, whether it's remote viewing, whether it's dowsing, pendulum dowsing, or scrying, or remote viewing, or psychic viewings, any of this, if you're doing that live on the internet, you're opening up other ways for other weird living artificial intelligence systems to invade you. Like, not just invade you, but invade the information, and invade the person that's both people that's involved as well. And it opens up like wormholes within the internet matrix. Really does. Really does. And that shit is dangerous. Very dangerous. And you'll leave the conversation with more attachments than you started with. So when I do a reading, I'm doing 99% of it on my own with no Wi-Fi or phones around. And that's similar to how I do the psychic viewings, remote viewings, and research, So I literally don't get any of my research on the internet. All of it comes from books. And when I do a radio show, like on Truth Frequency Radio Network, or even when I do a YouTube or whatever, I'll literally, before I do the video, I'll go to my collection of books, and I'll get like freaking 10 books out in case I have to make a reference or look up something that I'm talking about, to make sure I have some of the correct information, right? So I take it really serious. Devil Ray? What's Devil Ray? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh yeah, there's sea life above the firmament. Hell yeah. Yeah, and you know what? People are going to be writing books on just the information that I've been letting out for free. I know that. I already feel that. And that's why if I had it like that, I would be publishing all of this stuff right now. I just don't, like, I'm looking for a publishing deal. Most times with publishing right now, you got to publish it yourself and pay for it all yourself. But I'm looking for publishers out there. I just got to find one to talk to, because I have so much that I've been working on, and so much that I've been releasing out there, that I guarantee you there's a handful of people out there that have already written books that contain information that they cited from me, and didn't give me the credit for it, like didn't shout me out. I've only had like 2 or 3 people over the last 10 years tell me that they were going to reference me in a book, or mention that this or that. So, and this is after years and years of putting information out there. And then I don't even think the person that told me they were going to do it did it either. So but it bothers me a little bit. But yeah, they're saying that about octopus now, right? And there's no doubt in my mind that they were sent here. How's it going? Yeah, I have a book called The Soul of the Octopus that everybody likes now. I got it when it came out. I didn't particularly it was all right. I read it, but I don't know. It was more like a person's biography about their time spent with certain octopus. Right? Like their research, like, you know, it's them. They were working with them, but yeah, hit me up, Kevin, for sure. Hit me up. That's why I'm trying to put a lot of my stuff on my Patreon, at least because people pay to subscribe there, and at least it helps out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, things are rough right now. Things are real tight. So I just actually was out today applying for part-time jobs because what I'm doing right now isn't making it. So I'm looking to get right at the place too. I actually talked to them today. This place that I'm walking at right now, they have people that they pay to maintain the grounds here. So I was just talking to them about it. So I have an appointment to talk to the lady in a couple of days. So I might even cut my hair before that, just so I look a little bit better, like shave the back and sides at least or something. Because I haven't got any sort of haircut at all. Not even the like back of my hair or the sides of my hair since like January 2020, maybe even before that. Oh, shout out to Susan Donahue. Thank you so much. You're always one of the nicest people and supporters out there. Susan, everybody, if Susan Donahue, if people want to do prayers for a kind person, a generous person, Susan is definitely a great supporter. And I would say that over the years, she's been the biggest supporter of mine, probably. One of the biggest, if not, you know. So thank you so much, Susan. I really appreciate it. Squid Game? Yeah, I never heard about it. I heard about it. They were talking about it on Sirius XM. That's my TV. I don't have TV or anything like that, but I got Sirius XM. I've had it in my car for like 10 years, and we don't have any TV. We have like DVD and stuff like that, but I have Amazon Prime too. Amazon Prime and I have Sirius XM because I was in the car a lot, and also you can have it like on an app on your phone. So I've had Sirius XM for like 12 years or more, for sure. I've had it since like 2006 or 7. This is the second car that I've had it in too.